This is my 8x10 well-loved jelly plate from Gel Press. You can see how well-loved it is there. Now with jelly printing, you can use acrylic paints, you can use alcohol inks, you can use ink pads, you can use stencils, found objects, all sorts of different things to create different prints. Now, mine has been stained green, and that's because one of my favorite ways to use my gel plate is with alcohol inks. And even though it is stained, it in no way affects the jelly printing ability. So the way I like to use it with alcohol inks is I have some bottles that I have some isopropyl and alcohol mixed together. I put them on my gel plate, let it completely dry, and then I put a little tiny bit of acrylic paint on, use a 6-inch brayer, and then pull up the paint on some printer paper, and you get some really beautiful looks. Even with alcohol inks, you can use stencils, you can use stamps and whatnot to create patterns and prints. I didn't do it with any of these ones here, but I like to create these prints and then create cards or mixed media projects with them. As you can see, you can use the gel press over and over and over again. I tend not to clean my plate off. If you want to, you can clean it with some mineral oil. I like all the marks and things that get left on there because they make really interesting prints. When I'm done with my jelly plate, I store it with the 2 plastic pieces that came with it. I know some people don't like to do that because they say it creates bubbles that mark your prints, but I haven't found it to be an issue. Once I put those 2 plastic pieces back on there, I put it right back in the clamshell that it came in. That way it gets protected in the drawer that I have it stored in. So this gel press is an 8x10. They come in all sorts of different sizes. I like this size because it works perfectly for printing on an 8.5x11 piece of paper. But you can also find them smaller or larger depending on what suits your purposes. You could also use soap and water to clean your plate, hand sanitizer, or even just baby wipes, as well as acrylic paint, alcohol inks, and dye inks. You could even use gel mediums and different other mediums on them as well. Really, you can get creative with them, and the only limit is your imagination. Part of the fun is trying new techniques or new products just to see what happens. Jelly printing is so much fun to do. I highly recommend you try it out.